Come on.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the only podcast produced by three winners of IMSA's Spirit of the Race Award. You're tuned into the Check Engine podcast, streaming through Anchor.fm or anywhere else that streams good, interesting content that you want to hear. My name is Nick. With me, as per usual, are my two fantastic co-hosts. I've got Tristan to my left. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
And I've got Andrew to my right. Good evening, sir.
What's up, man?
Well, you know, just a casual midweek recording sesh, just to, deal with the fact that we're not going to be around this weekend, or I'm not going to be around this weekend. So
It's a school night.
So yeah, recording on a school night. But yeah, I'm doing all right. You guys good? You guys ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Well, we can dig right into it then.
He sounds
All
surprised.
right, easy.
So-
I mean, yeah, let's just go.
Let's just go. So tonight is what?
Tonight is, well, I mean, what are we going to call this? Probably like the Rage episode or something?
Rage
Something like
episode.
that.
Yeah, but
Well, this was really your baby, Nick. What am I doing? This was your baby.
Well, I mean, I blogged about it back in the first season. I wrote about some driving pet peeves of mine, and then just recently I found an article, a post from Car and Driver that listed 40 pieces of driving etiquette that they wish everybody would follow. Mm-hmm. So that was just like, maybe this could turn into an episode idea somehow. Here's some potential content. So we tossed it around and we came up with an episode here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this as a baseline, this Car and Driver article with these 40, and I think Andrew found a couple of more somewhere.
I'm sure, yeah.
We can
have
find a
some
couple.
backups.
We can find a couple more, but we're gonna go through these, and we are
everywhere.
going to determine who is the peeviest driver to drive with among the three of us.
PVS.
Who is Peeves?
Who is peeves?
Who is the most like the large PA speakers that you saw at carnivals as a kid?
what?
PVS.
Oh my God.
Wow. Tristan from deep.
With just a clanger right off the rim.
Hey, well, we can't win every time.
So yeah, what we're going to do here is we're going to go through each one of these topics, and basically each person is going to rank them from most hate to now they're cool with it. They have no problem with it at all. So it's just 0, 1, 2, and then whoever has the most points at the end is going to be peeves.
It makes me laugh. It really does.
And we can also unanimously skip a topic
If it's dumb.
if we think it's dumb, because we're looking through here before we turn the mics on.
And
It's
there
like,
are some dumb ones.
there are some dumb ones.
A little bit.
Which is why Andrew went out and found some backups somewhere,
Yeah.
hopefully. But the idea is to pick out who of the three of us is the driver that you want to stay away from, because he's got too many rules.
He'll tell you, stop that. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Stop
exactly. But before we get into that, it's time that we start off with some pace laps. Andrew, what do we got tonight?
You know, a lot of stuff happened in the past week or so, but I think maybe we start here. We are, of course, the Carlos Ghosn correspondents. Just
Yes.
we're known that way. And something really interesting happened this past week. This past week, he sued Nissan and Mitsubishi only, not Renault, not the whole alliance, for $17 million. So
17 million US. I don't know what it came out to in
17
euros.
million US. I had
Not
the figures
important.
here. Yeah, it doesn't matter too much. But here's the thing. How could he possibly sue them if everything that's happened so far occurred in Japan, right? That'd be the question. Everything is on charges related to things that he supposedly did in Japan or that influenced Japanese companies. He's just been in Japan this whole time.
Andrew, I bet it depends on where the company is registered to do business, isn't it?
That is exactly why. So the entire multi-billion-dollar Renault-Nissan alliance is registered in the Netherlands.
Lawyered.
Yeah, no, seriously, absolutely lawyered. So here's, not only is the Netherlands famously a tax haven.
Yep.
And I mean, lots of huge companies have basically PO boxes in the Netherlands, and therefore that's where the company's registered. Nothing we can do about it. But here's why he's suing them there, because in the Netherlands, not only do they have incredibly fair tax laws for those big corporations who just don't want to pay taxes. But also in the Netherlands, if you want to fire an executive, you have to first tell him what he's being accused of and give him evidence
Yes.
before you can even fire him. So he's suing them basically for wrongful termination in the Netherlands because that's where the company is based.
Yeah, because they didn't do any of that. He got off a plane and they threw cuffs on him, basically.
Doesn't matter. See, that's
That's what I'm saying. That's why he's suing, is because they didn't do any of the things that they're supposed
Yeah.
to do by Netherlands law.
That's the crazy,
Dutch law?
Dutch law.
Dutch law.
So that's
How
kind
worldly of me.
That's the crazy gambit that he just played. Is that he's not copping to anything, nor is he saying he did anything, but he's just suing them for wrongful termination.
And oddly enough, it seems like he has a case.
He could win that.
Yeah, that's definitely
based
something-
upon just what we've heard in the media so far.
He could totally win that. I mean, that's bizarre.
That's why he's a CEO of a multinational, or was a CEO of a multinational corporation. He's a pretty smart guy.
At least
He knows how to
clever.
play the game.
I'm just wondering if because there are other tax shelters across the world.
Oh yeah.
So now I have to wonder if there are other corporate laws or corporate related laws in the Netherlands that are similarly oh god, what is it? I don't even know words for this. That it just seems like they're overly compensating for CEOs who already make millions and millions of dollars. Like, really, he probably already got some kind of golden parachute, right, for getting foisted out of the alliance and is
Maybe.
maybe
Maybe it depends on how he was foisted.
That's more of an American thing, to be honest. That's,
Yeah.
you lose your job of gross negligence and get 150 million as you step out the door. But this is just, it seems so weird to me. The whole thing seems bizarre. More bizarre than it has this
How
entire
much more
time.
bizarre can
I'm
it
just
get,
wondering
but-
when someone is going to pick up the rights to the screenplay. And can it be us?
I just don't understand why it keeps getting, I mean, we've made the joke about it being a movie for a while, but it keeps getting more and more complicated and more corporate espionage-y. Everything is a twist. Everything is a new development, unlike anything else we've ever seen. At least that's kind of how I see it.
My history of cars and business is kind of limited, but I haven't heard anything about anything close to this since I started paying attention, at least.
Yeah, it's
To qualify by that, I haven't been paying attention for that long. But,
Comes with a big proviso.
yeah. So more, again, we keep saying this, but more to come probably.
definitely. And you just never know. I don't understand how anyone is not glued to this, even when it's not really in the news, because, it's a court case. It has its moments and has, lulls. But I don't understand how anyone is not absolutely riveted by this. You just never know. You couldn't, no one guessed that the next thing was going to be a countersuit of a sort from Goosen in the Netherlands,
Right.
where I don't think he's going to be allowed to show up in court.
Also true.
I don't think he's going to be leaving Japan
Yeah. They're not
for
gonna,
a long time.
Hey, can you win a case in absentia?
Probably.
I know you can lose it.
Can he Skype? Can you just Skype into
Skype in.
to the hearing?
Skype meeting.
I really don't know. He might have to, though.
Crazy.
Yeah,
We'll see what happens next.
for sure. But that is cool, but it's not what I came here to talk about today. I came to make a proclamation to all those who know and like cars, to all the car fans, as it were. BMW is canceled. They're done. I'm calling an end to BMW just as a whole.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So the whole thing about BMW, right? And the whole thing about BMW is the driver's experience, the driver's car, right?
The ultimate driving machine. Isn't that their slogan?
Of course
Yes.
it is. So not only do they just make SUVs now, ever since that Designer song a couple years ago, all they did was made X6s. But also, as we all know, I think, or at least will have heard by this point, the 2022 series, and therefore the 3 Series, will be front-wheel drive. Which is, well, hold on a second. So front-wheel drive, which of course I have no issue with, and it'll start, probably just a touch under $40,000.
Okay.
So what this means is that all of those holier-than-thou BMW drivers throughout the whole course of automotive history are going to have to say that the Genesis G70 is a driver's car and the BMW 3 Series is not, simply because the BMW purists, or as I called them to Tristan over text, the Top Gear fakers have always said rear drive, best drive. Obviously, you can't have anything else. You're no longer going to be able to get that in a BMW, in that one that everyone gets, in that 3 Series, the M. So, I mean, what are you going to say now? What is BMW without all of those people squawking about rear drive all the time?
Well, they're not going to say anything otherwise because their heads are going to explode, and they know that. So they don't
Possibly.
they don't want that to happen, so they're going to be pretty mum about it. But they'll find something else. BMW people always find, and it's always like passive aggressive, like in the course of conversation. Someone will find something else to say.
I suppose. They'll have to, right?
They won't have a choice.
Well, I mean, obviously.
I mean, they're not just going to throw away all the free scarves and mugs and
Polo shirts.
and driving gloves that they get. Like it's.
But it's not just that. All right, so there's that one thing, and we all know that that's not going to end how anyone wants it to. No one who's ever owned a BMW is going to say a Genesis is a driver's car, and no one who would buy a Genesis is cross-shopping BMWs because you're getting half the car, basically, for or twice the car for half the money. But here is the big one, and this is so crazy, I can't even believe that I have to talk about it. But I didn't know they were doing this. Or maybe they will be doing this going forward. BMW is doing something that I don't even know if they can do, and charging people to use Apple CarPlay
Yep.
in their BMW. So not only do you spend, $50,000 or $60,000 on your front-wheel drive car, but but also you pay. I have the numbers here. I think I do. It is about $6.70 per month. Or you can pay a lump sum of $300 for when you buy your car to get access to Apple CarPlay, which for the rest of the entire rest of the automotive world is absolutely 100% free. I mean, Tristan, how can they even charge for this?
I heard about this today.
Yeah.
And I've been attempting to process it since then. And I don't know. I mean, other than I guess, are you going to anger BMW drivers enough to not buy a BMW by charging them for CarPlay?
I just don't understand how
And
they
if
can.
not, then
Apple has to be getting a cut of that, right?
No.
it's unlocking a feature on their own head unit. Apple-
On BMW's head unit.
Yeah, Apple has nothing to do with it. It's going to be on the phone no matter what. And it's going to be something that has to be enabled on the car.
It's just insane. Well, here's the other thing, of course.
Well, here. I mean, if you can afford to pay $60,000 for a BMW, I think $300 for a lump sum, they're not going to really bat an eyelash
But
at
you
it.
shouldn't have
But
to
no, you
even
shouldn't have
consider
to.
it.
No, why the hell? Oh.
Why isn't Audi just out here like, oh, and our CarPlay's free? P.S.
Or Genesis.
Or anybody in the whole world. But here's the thing that's crazy to me. You, Nick, the pleb that you are, the scum of the earth Android user that you are, you're not included in this. You can't use your phone in any BMW. Why would you even ask if you could?
I didn't ask if I could. I'm not buying a BMW.
Oh, sorry, I misheard.
So not only are you forced to pay for Apple CarPlay, you can't even pay to
use Android Auto.
Yeah, Android Auto.
They're
Who
definitely going backwards.
who is doing this? And why?
This is another one of those things I've never heard of until right now.
Strange things are afoot at BMW.
And also, do they know how easy their head units are to hack? All head units are to hack. They're just a very simple Android kernel. If you want to enable that shit, you can enable that shit in your own car that you own.
I don't think a lot of people know that.
It's going to be super easy. That is a thing. I mean, Tristan, we talk about it here all the time. Middle management IT guys be driving BMWs.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can tell you, I know people who will do this to their BMWs.
Exactly. And IT guys are not going to pay to enable Apple CarPlay. They will enable it themselves.
Yes.
They will find a way. I mean,
Is middle management IT the only market, though?
I honestly have no idea.
But it's also the people that they work for. So they will be asked to unlock their boss's CarPlay for them.
See, that's a good point. That's a good point. They're creating a cottage industry, basically.
People who buy BMWs have IT departments or are IT departments.
Yes.
One or the other.
So, well, then the
Painting in broad strokes, of course.
So now, will the middle management IT guys charge to
See,
to
no,
unlock
it's corporate. It's
No,
corporate
because
rules.
it's your boss asking you to do it. You don't charge them for it.
Yeah, it's a good graces thing. It's a good
Yeah.
graces thing. And say,
But what if somebody just decides to start doing it for people outside of work?
Yeah, I'm sure that's a thing.
genuinely? I mean, I don't know.
I'll charge you $150 to unlock your CarPlay.
That's the thing. I don't
Yeah.
know that BMW
See-
realizes what they're doing. They're creating a market, an aftermarket.
A black market, you mean?
It's not.
It's
There's
an
nothing black
aftermarket.
about it.
I don't think it's
Why has it
illegal.
got to be a black market?
It's not illegal to modify the head unit in your car.
No,
you can
it's
do
not.
that. So it's not a black market. It's just an aftermarket in people who will literally sell probably SD cards that you slot into your BMW nav and then pop out and you have CarPlay. What the fuck are they thinking?
They're not.
That's I actually came away with this CarPlay thing in anger. Like, do they genuinely believe they're going to get away with this? And they do, of course. And the worst part is they even might. Like in the regular tier of cars, Honda, Toyota, Ford, blah blah blah. I don't think it would work there, but this could theoretically catch on with Audi and MB and kind of like that upper middle class tier of cars.
Well, here's the thing, though. Couldn't people just use it as a negotiating tactic at the dealership too? Like,
If you're smart.
They all want to. The dealerships always want to throw in the floor mats. We'll give you the floor mats.
We'll throw in CarPlay.
Throw in CarPlay.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, hey,
I'd walk out.
Hey, we're this far apart. We're this far apart. You know what? Take that $300 off for the CarPlay, and we can keep talking. Like,
I would be so mad if anyone ever said that to me. I would be so mad.
if you're a BMW, like
If you're shopping for any car, let's say this becomes a thing, and someone's like, for $300, I'll unlock the CarPlay. I'd leave. I'd be like, all right, we're done.
No, I'm saying, like, if I'm the customer and we're close on price, you know what? If you take that $300 off and just throw in the CarPlay for free,
I'm sure you're right.
we can keep having this discussion.
I'm sure you're right.
You know, like, you can just talk them out of it. So basically, they're never going to get paid for this.
I mean, let's hope not. I just hope it fails spectacularly, and as a result of that, and the result of BMW fans being over, I think BMW as a brand is now over. We can be done with them. Don't show up to any more races. We're not interested. That's it.
Yeah, and I think that falls into see our October 23rd, 2018 episode, The Hard Sell, discussing various issues with dealers that will not help any of them.
Look at Tristan with a shameless plug for the back catalog.
That whole time when we were talking, he was looking that up.
I know.
I was.
I was wondering what I
Because
was
felt-
texting or what he was
because
doing
I
over
felt
there.
it was important to know.
That was a good pull.
Well played, Tristan. Again, Tristan from Deep. That's twice.
He actually made one.
That one he
50%.
made.
1 for 2. It's fine.
That's pretty good in NBA terms.
That's right.
But let's get into this.
Yeah.
Let's start peeving. Let's start
Let's start straight peeping.
straight peeving, yo.
Everybody stop.
You can't stop me.
So we're gonna get into this. We're gonna go through a list of, I guess we can say, common driving etiquette breaches or pet peeves that drivers have said they've had, and we're gonna rank them each one as we go through, like most egregious to I really don't care at all, and then we're gonna total up the score. It's like golf. We want the lowest score in this.
Yep.
See who is the person out of the three of us you would least want to drive with, because they're going to be too bossy in the car. Too many rules. Do you want me to start with the first one?
Yeah, just go for it, man. Let's do it.
All right. Where do the Tuyas stand on passengers putting the feet on the dashboard?
Nope, you're getting left to the side of the road. Fucking a million. That is the worst thing that anyone could ever do.
So
Yeah.
Andrew is peeves. Game over. He just put $1 million down.
10 million.
10 million.
100 million. That is the worst thing.
I'll call and raise him 300 million because not only is it bad for the dashboard, you will break your legs, just shatter them if the airbag goes off.
I remember Jalopnik posted a picture of a woman who'd had that thing happen to her. And it's one of the pictures I've laughed hardest at in my whole life.
It's just like, it didn't have to be this way. Just take your feet off the damn dashboard. I hate it.
Wow.
I hate it.
I expected a strong reaction from Andrew. I did not expect you to come in so hard.
Now, out the window, it's
That's even worse. You're not in a fucking country music video.
It's kind of gross. I don't care for it, but it doesn't make me as mad as on the dashboard. That's where I was going, like, because there's not as much straight risk involved. There's still some, definitely, but it's not like you're going to get smashed by the airbag. It's going to kind of push your legs off to the side, which
You'll just lose your feet as they get clipped off gently at the ankles
is
by
fine.
the side curtain airbags.
Which is fine. They haven't been shattered from the ankles to the pelvis. It's better.
No, I did not. I'm very surprised at this hate pushback from you, Tristan.
Wow.
Simply because I feel such a way about this. If I see someone else doing it, I have to.
I point it out and go, "Ugh, stop!"
No,
yes.
I have to make
Like
my
you-
car leave the area, speed up, slow down. I just can't even look at it.
like, would you tell someone to stop if they were doing it in your car?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't let it get to that point. When I see knees come up, I go, "Don't you even try it."
I think I'm pretty clear.
Okay. I mean, I would, the strategist, the gamesmanship in me would want to go 1 or 0 right here just to pick up an easy point.
But that's lying, Nicholas.
I know it is. It sucks.
You hate it too?
Yeah, so much. So much. So much.
You know what? Tristan offered to take it, so you got to give him the 2, man.
I think we all get 2s.
That's fair with me.
Yeah, I think I'm putting us all down for a 2.
I thought we were doing 3, 2, 1. So I was like, what? I wanted the most on that one.
2, 1, 0.
Yeah, I remembered.
Yeah.
2, 1, 0. The next one on the list. Where do y'all stand on passengers touching the climate controls?
0. I don't care.
I don't care either.
No?
No.
I'm
Especially in this day and age of dual zone climate
there's
control.
that.
Like, and even if not, it's fine. If
Actually-
I'm hot, I'll tell you, hey, could you change that back? I'm hot. It doesn't bother me that they're. It's like there's this weird, like my aircraft. You can't touch the controls. Like we'll get to some later that I will agree with, but it's the climate control. Are you uncomfortable? Please change the climate control. Don't make me do it because I'm driving.
especially if it's like uncomfortable weather outside, I try to be accommodating with people anyway. I'll usually ask like, "Hey, you guys good on air?
You want
Like,
it cooler? You want it
want
warmer?
cooler? You want it hotter? How you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
So if they were to reach over and just be like, "Nah, I'm too hot." Okay.
Yeah, doesn't
Yeah, I
bother
think it's
me.
because of the dual. If it was a single dial for the whole car, then at least have the conversation like, "Hey, do you mind if I change it?" But
I think you just got to put up with it, honestly, if you're the passenger and it is single zone or just, regular.
Well, and it depends on
think you
who,
just
too.
gotta
I think
deal.
there are varying grades of who your passenger is. For example, if it's some rando from work, maybe don't touch my stuff. If it's Jessica, she can probably just change the climate control because I just don't care that much. Like, I think there are grades here that we're also not considering.
You know, I honestly think I don't know that it makes that much of a difference. I mean, I guess I try to be more cognizant of it when it's someone that I give a shit about. And wait, I don't ever have strangers in my car, so that doesn't even apply to me.
Yeah, it doesn't even work. Yeah, I'm at a 0 on this too, and I think you're right. It's the dual climate thing. So,
And I don't even have dual climate control, and it's fine with me
I
too.
don't either.
Yeah.
all right.
Do you have in your truck, Nick?
Yeah,
Oh, rich man over here.
How about
that's
that?
That's wealth. That's what that is.
that's right. All you poors down here without.
I'm not poor. I'm stingy.
I'm sure that has to be an option in
It
the
is.
in the.
Yeah, it is. But I buy base cars, so
Indeed.
Right.
what am I gonna do?
Andrew, do you got one on the list? Or you want me to just roll down mine still?
Why don't you go? I have one here, but it's so stupid. I'm just not even going to do that.
Okay, fair enough. The next one, using the zipper merge tactic.
Okay.
Like, no, the article wants people to do it.
Yes.
So they're condemning people who don't do it.
And yes, I understand that, but here's the thing. Nobody in the whole world understands how to do a zipper merge.
Exactly.
No one at all. So even the people who think they do don't, because they don't continue to travel at the appropriate speed and find a place to slide in. They fucking hammer it all the way down to the last second and expect you to move over.
They're like, let me in. Where's
at the
zipper
tail end.
merging?
And that's not what a zipper merge is.
That's not what a zipper merge is. So
No.
the theory is fine. No, like, you can't get everybody in their head to execute that way, though. It's impossible.
So for me, that's almost, I don't care. It's almost a 0 because I know it's impossible. So when people don't do it, it doesn't bother me because I know no one knows how to do it.
I feel like I'm kind of in the same boat, except I hate people for trying and I hate them for not trying. I hate them for trying wrong and for not trying, I should say.
Trying wrong.
It's a real thing.
You're funny.
You know it. Okay, listen.
I know, I do know
Now
it.
that my commute's way longer, I see this just one direction, 5 places.
This is a good time to start the discussion of driving pet peeves as your commute becomes much more like my commute.
Yes.
Yes.
I do have now, it's actually slightly longer than quote unquote average, I suppose. But in terms of distance, it's right in the average commute distance, which I think is like 15 miles, something like that.
Yeah. I'm more-
Anyways, that doesn't matter. But yeah, I mean, oh God. Actually, now that I'm thinking about this really pisses me off.
Yeah, like in my mind, like I guess if we want to push it as far as possible, I'm at a generally a 1 because nobody knows how to do it, and that kind of bothers me. But when I see somebody not do it, it doesn't even really register because I'm not expecting anybody to do it.
Right.
But when someone does manage to pull it off on the rare occasion, makes everyone feel like a boss.
Yeah.
Like a super rare occasion, like, you're.
But we're not talking about how happy this shit makes us.
I know. The more I think about it, it does really make me angry. Especially, I suppose it's kind of a separate question. On and off ramps are going to, I'm sure, be their own point in this.
Yes,
There is one
absolutely.
that comes later.
So, are you mad enough for a 2, or are you going to put yourself as a 1 for that, Andrew?
I'm going to go with a 2 simply because I hate more people, both the people who don't do it and the people who try and fail.
Yeah, I only get grumpy at the people who try and fail. So I'm going to give myself a 1. Otherwise, the absence of it happening doesn't register.
I just think just knowing that it's not going to happen, at least in my lifetime, to use that phrase, not in my lifetime. I just
All
kind
right,
of
Dad.
Yeah, really. I'm gonna throw a 0 down for me, just because I know it's not gonna work. So, next one on the list, according to Car and Driver. Now, this one I feel like we can almost split into 2, because
We're getting experimental here.
we'll just hear it out. So they have it listed as 1, eating or as a passenger, eating or smoking in someone else's car without permission.
Yeah, because
I
that's
feel
not-
like that's 2 separate things.
That's like what we were talking about a couple episodes ago where they were comparing like the Mazda 6 to the Stinger.
Yeah.
It's like not the same class of thing.
Don't do that.
So you want to split this up? Eating in someone else's car without permission.
I don't care. I eat enough in my car. My commute is long enough that it is where meals happen. My car has unvacuumed crumbs at most times in its life. So eating does not bother me in the slightest. People ask me, and I go, yeah, duh. Like, I don't, it doesn't even, like, I'm eating a sandwich right now. Do you want to eat? Like, it doesn't even occur to me.
We just went through the drive-thru. What is wrong with
Yeah,
you?
just eat. Like, it doesn't, when people ask me, that bothers me. Actually, the other way around.
I don't. Oh man, I eat in my car, obviously, and
Me too.
but no one else is ever in my car really long. I mean, I'm sure would be fine, but it just doesn't even.
So 0 for you.
Yeah, I think so.
By default of NA.
Yeah,
I almost want to go 1 here, and it's not. I don't think you have to ask permission. Just make sure that you put something on your lap, something to keep whatever might drip off of my seat. That would be my only stipulation. So, I mean, I don't know if
that's just
what do you
being-
get? Does that apply to this?
No, because I think that's just being courteous. Like, but they're talking about, like, asking to do it at all.
Oh yeah, then
And,
I'm
like, that's.
0.
Yeah, 0.
but wait,
So let's flip this. Oh, what's up?
what about ice cream cones specifically?
I don't mind if they don't ask, but they better be ready to clean it if they spill it on the seat.
See, I feel like what other things are.
But
really
again,
bad?
that's just being courteous.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
like if I eat something in your truck, like we were at Taco Bell, this happened. We were at Taco Bell at Road America, and I dropped a thing of sauce on the leather seat, and I went and I grabbed a napkin and cleaned it up, made sure it wasn't sticky, like, and it was good to go because, like, I don't want to ruin your truck. But we went to Taco Bell and ate at the drive-thru. The expectation was that we were going to be eating in your truck.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think "Are you a pig?" is part of this is part of this question.
Do you have human decency?
Yeah. So
Okay, so moral of that story is you don't need to ask any of us. Just be ready to clean up.
Yeah.
if you make a mess, clean yourself up. If not, super.
Now, smoking.
That is a 2.
Yeah, don't smoke in cars.
Don't-
I'm actually kind of 0 about it because don't try it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, you'll be immediately ejected from the vehicle, so it'll be a non-issue. But I think that also means that I am bent around 2 on the meter and back to 0
Oh, that's a good point.
because it's so bad that I
Same.
won't even allow it to happen.
Same.
Like,
like,
well,
it-
I guess if that's 2, then yeah, I'll smack the pack out of your hand. I'm not scared.
Yeah.
Bah. Not angrily. I'll just give it a
Yeah.
smack.
Yeah.
Give it a smack.
Yeah.
Flick the cigarette out of their mouth. Get out of here.
No, you can't let it get that far. You just gotta. No one's gripping that. That's what you got to remember. No one grips that because you can't crush them.
They're crunkly.
So you go. Bah.
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's the noise it makes.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess technically either, I mean, how do we want to calculate that? Either it's a 2 because I absolutely will not allow it to happen,
I think that
What's
has
a
to be a
2?
2.
much less with or without my
And
permission.
this isn't, again, this isn't a gamesmanship thing. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
I think we're all in the same boat on that one. We're in
Sure.
agreement.
That's fair.
Next one I've got here. Using the fog lamps when it's not foggy.
That's weird to me because in these times of automatic lights,
It shouldn't have to happen.
well, fog lights
Are
fog-
still manual,
Fog lights are manual.
even with automatic lights.
are they?
Yes.
With a little dealy bop?
Yeah.
Are they though?
Because your headlights are light sensing. They're so far isn't fog sensing.
No. But I thought that the whole array comes on, especially in like, because there's several different settings for automatic lights. There's the daytime off.
Right.
There's the low light, but daytime, not night. An example would be Meg's car. In that situation, the fog lights do come on. And then in night, they're auto on off, like around corners and stuff. It's very complicated.
Yeah. Well, either way, it's 0. I don't care. Use your fog lights whenever you want. Why is this an issue?
When people have them on as their only lights,
Well-
you know what? It's parking lights. It's not fog lights. It's parking
Parking
lights.
lights.
That piss me off.
Yeah. And that's a whole different question, though.
Yeah, that's not the question.
Drive with your fog lights on, drive with them off, pretend you're a rally driver. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't
I
care
mean,
either.
Doesn't bother me in the slightest.
Should we just miss that one? Like strike it from the record?
Like that's a weird thing to worry about. Yeah, I would
weird thing
say,
to worry about?
Yeah,
All right, so that is invalid.
Yeah,
No
definitely.
score for anybody.
which is it's all zeros anyway.
Yeah.
It's going to be all zeros anyway. So, next one on the list. Oh boy, here we go. I'm looking at this list, and there's a few that I'm going to get riled up about.
He's ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Coiling up right now. Slowly passing other vehicles. Motherfucking 2!
You mean driving in Wisconsin?
Yeah,
Yes!
It gives me such anxiety.
Oh my god.
It really does.
If you're going to pass somebody, get the fuck around them.
Yes.
you say anxiety. I would go more with murderous rage, but yeah, God, it's a 2.
Especially if you're in such a quote-unquote hurry that you have to cut me off to get around that person.
And then don't move.
And then don't go.
Yeah,
That's a crazy one. That
Oh.
happens all the time here.
Yes.
Man, you know what? I will honestly.
Can I put 10?
Well, we had a 3 million earlier,
yeah,
so that's the high
Yeah,
score.
so I know I'm still safe.
that breaks Nick. It does.
Is that like is that possibly your number one, Nick, of all?
Well, let's just go through. It's close.
Let's do a couple more.
It's close because there's a few right after this that are right up there
Real
too.
doozies.
I will put that as a 1 for myself because I hate it, but I hate feet on the dashboard so much more. And also the zipper merge thing. I hate that more.
I think the problem is it's not on like a scale of 10 for ease. Because it wouldn't be as much as being on the dashboard. No. But is it definitely way more than it kind of like? I feel like 0 is it doesn't even register. 1 is it kind of bothers me, and 2 is it really bothers me. And the fact that there's anything above really bothers me, it's all 2s anyway. So I think our
Exactly.
scale is to blame that it's a 2 for
No,
me.
that's the
But
challenge.
yeah,
So 1 for Andrew.
Yeah.
2 for Tristan.
it causes me to bang my hands on the steering wheel. So yes, 2. There's a lot of I won't you move. Yeah,
And a big old fat 2 for Nick as well.
a large 2. It's 2 still, but big.
It's 2, and I need to turn the page of my notebook or my scorekeeping now because I'm out of room. No. Here's another one. Using your turn signal or failure to use your turn signal.
I mean, could that be anything other than just the worst thing that you could do in any circumstance? It's so dangerous.
It's so unsafe.
It's so. It happened to me almost the other day. Here's the thing, though. It happened to me the other day as I was turning, going to merge into the middle lane. A guy from the right lane was also going to merge. I used my signal. He didn't. And I was able to get out of his way. But there's this thing when you've been driving for a while, and I'm sure both of you know this now. You know when someone's going to merge without using their signal. You can see that shit 100 miles away.
Yeah, you're looking for it now.
When's the last time either of you were surprised by someone?
Oh, yep.
There he
yep,
goes.
Yeah, like that's yeah. No, I for me it's a 1, and I think it's sheerly down to exposure therapy.
Exactly.
I drove in Milwaukee so long, and I don't think half the people driving there even have functioning turn
Bro,
indicators.
it's absurd what goes on in that city
Yeah,
in terms of driving.
and that's like so far down the list for me because they do things like run stoplights. In comparison, I'd rather you don't use your turn indicator. I mean, it's
It's unbelievable down there. It's crazy. Actually, off of that, one that I will insert right now. What would you score on that one?
So what would you score on that?
I say 1.
You said 1. What did you say?
1.
It bugs me, but it's not devastating.
I'm going 2. I hate it. What are you going to insert?
How can I explain this? At a intersection, going around someone turning left by using the right-hand turn lane, and by extension, just straight up using the right-hand turn lane to go straight at an intersection. Because in Milwaukee, they built the shit so backwards, there are no left-hand turn lanes.
Yeah, it's all straight left and then right-hand turn only.
Yep.
And people use the right-hand turn lane as another straight lane and then drag race you to the first parallel parked car.
Yes.
Yeah.
I win those races.
Yeah, because they're gonna run into a parked car.
Yes. And
Yeah.
I have a turbocharger.
Yes.
Don't fuck with me. But okay, I will say this. As much as that drives me insane, and it truly does, I have to put it as a 1 because I do that no less than 3 times a day on my commute.
Out
What?
of necessity?
Out of absolute sheer 100% necessity between West Dallas and where I work, it's nothing but those intersections. And if you don't do that, the commute takes literally 3 times as long.
Because you'll never get through the light.
You will never get through.
But that's only if someone in front of you is turning left.
Correct.
And you're stuck. Versus, well, maybe this all boils down to how many people use their indicators or not. If it looks like you're going straight, but no one knows because no one uses their indicators, how will they know if they're drag racing you or not?
Right, exactly.
So, yeah,
No,
it's
I feel like you still have to categorize the right turn thing as its own, or using the right turn lane, whatever you want to call that, as its own, simply because it's so instant. And honestly, well, I've never done that much city driving, but I've never seen it anywhere as prevalently as it is in Milwaukee.
yeah.
The
And it's
second you cross that county line, it's
Yeah.
the way traffic moves.
yeah. It doesn't, I guess, again, exposure therapy, it doesn't bother me at all because I expect it at this point. I know that people think the traffic engineers are wrong, and to a certain extent they are, and they've just repurposed the lanes, and you just come to expect this. So it doesn't bother me really, but
I will put it as a 1 because it does bother me, but I still have to do it. And yeah, off on a tangent. That's why I say I challenge a self-driving car to go through Milwaukee.
0 for you?
0 for me.
0 for
Yeah.
Tristan, 1 for Andrew. I'm going to throw a 0 down on that as well. I think it's just something we're immune to driving in that area at this point.
Sure.
And also, it's because it's out of necessity to get where you need to go, and it's because of how poorly constructed the intersections are.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like, I mean, some of them might just be people being douchebags, but
You get that too.
for the
People who
most
just
part,
do
it's
it.
just because they have nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put that as 0. The next one, which I will not put at a 0, is I've got it marked down as lane discipline, but it's basically staying in the right unless you need to pass.
Yeah. 2. People who lack lane discipline, also the entire state of Wisconsin. We hate y'all.
Well, and I hear that from people who come driving, like who drive through the state and they're from somewhere else. They've told me, like, why do people just hang out in the left lane all the time?
It's unbelievable here.
Yeah, it's bad. I hate it.
It's really bad. Is it a too bad? Do you hate it that much?
Yeah, and it contributes to one of the other things we talked about: people not passing each other.
People not
That's-
passing,
yeah.
and yeah, that's the leading factor, especially when you're in a nice long train of people in the left lane going the speed limit. You know, you're in there because you're passing, and then someone from that stupid middle lane pulls out and immediately goes 2 over. Mm-hmm. It's like, kill your. Nope, can't say that.
Watch yourself.
Andrew just self-edited.
Wow, I think that might be the first time ever.
Just kidding. Kill yourself.
I'm the same way. Like, and now that being said, I'll say I'm guilty of it, but I've never gone under the speed limit in the left lane.
Sometimes I'm not speeding enough for
Exactly.
somebody's taste.
If I'm in the left lane, it's a 70, and I'm doing 78, and you're like
crawling up my tailpipe.
crawling up my tailpipe. You know what? I'm not going to move over for you because that brings up another thing that we're going to get to later. But like, it's not like I'm holding you. It's not like I'm holding up a line of traffic. I'm still passing people. If it's just not fast enough, for
I'm
you,
out there
Then you
doing-
find your way around.
Yeah, I'm out there doing work, passing people in the center and right lanes where I should be. The fact that I'm not speeding enough for your taste is not my problem.
Right.
That's interesting.
Right.
Now, if I'm out there because I spaced out and didn't move back to the middle lane, I should get out of your way. That's my problem.
That's
Yeah,
yep,
well,
that's what I
but-
mean, and I've done
but-
that. I've
but-
long road trips, dude. You space out sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but
unfortunately.
if I'm actually in the act of passing people, I'm not going to slow down, move to the right-hand lane, let you pass me, and then get back out in the left-hand lane to finish the rest of the traffic I have to pass. I will get to that semi in the front of the middle lane and pull in front of them and then let you pass me,
Right.
because all this passing and cutting into lines of cars and stuff is dangerous. You can slow down. I'm already going 7 to 8 miles an hour over. I'm not going to speed up to get out of your way, and I'm not going to cut my speed and pull over to get out of your way.
right.
That's definitely fair.
So I mean, I put it as a 2.
The lane discipline thing,
Yeah, lane discipline is 2 for
too.
sure.
Yes, that's what we're talking.
sure.
That's what we're talking about. I think we tangented
we
there, but
and we'll get to that other one later. Next one. Not paying attention at a stoplight. So light turns green, they're looking at their phone, looking at the radio, and people just don't go.
So I'm gonna have to put 0 at this one because it actually amuses me because I honk at them and then they drop their coffee or whatever else. Because the second or two that it takes for them to like catch up and move is probably not gonna make me miss the light. Probably in the grand scheme of my life, it might a few times. But the fact that I actually get to honk at people for a reason actually amuses me. So I don't care about that one.
Andrew, where do you
I'll
stand?
put myself as a 1 on that because it does make me angry, and the satisfaction I get from ruining their moment of peace does not make up for how angry it makes me.
But it does help. It makes it a 1.
Yeah, it helps. It helps.
Yeah, I'm going to put it at a 1 as well. Just trying to scale this thing up. Like, does it piss me off? Yeah, but does it piss me off as much as slowly passing other vehicles or anything? Like, no. So I'm going to put that as a 1 for me as well. That's the first one I've actually had. Anyway.
Nick's a light switch. He's either on or off.
Yeah, exactly.
So this one, I vote to strike this one from discussion just because it's so basic and common sense. No texting and driving and drinking and driving.
That's not really a pet peeve or more of a like I'm gonna get you arrested for that.
So here's a public safety announcement, folks. Don't text and drive at the same time. By God, do not drink and drive.
Yeah,
Whether it's at the
totally
same
do that.
time or just drink. If you drink at all, find a ride. Okay? Like,
You can drink and drive in Mississippi as long as you're under the legal limit.
Same in Louisiana.
So
Although I do have a friend.
and
who
the nice
got a
lady in
DUI
Ohio
in Louisiana.
offered to
yeah, pack
Help
us
me.
roadie sodies.
help me conceal it when we were going to Mid Ohio last
That's
night
right.
at the gas station.
Hilarious. And we also said no, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way,
So-
we also said no.
But-
I will say I have actually opened a beer in my car and drank it on accident.
Because you grabbed the wrong thing? Or?
No, because where was I going? I don't remember. I was meeting up with a friend somewhere, and I went to the gas station and got what the hell was it? Who knows? Just some like a tall boy of something. I don't even remember. And I put it in my car. I got gas. Driving down the road, opened it, started drinking it, and I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" Just did not think about it at all. And yeah, whoops.
Whoops.
But
Yeah.
I vote to strike this from the record just because it's common sense
Yeah.
And the law.
and the law.
Well, I think actually a lot of these involve the law, but this is a very serious one, in all
Very-
honesty.
Right. So we're not even going to score that. I don't know what time we're at, Tristan, but I'm maybe halfway through this list. So,
It's been about 25 minutes of this part of it.
Yeah, we'll be all right.
okay.
Yeah.
So the next one on the list, which surprised me that I made it on there, but I guess this happens, failure to pull over for emergency vehicles.
I've never actually seen that where someone didn't pull over.
I've seen it, and it bugs me on behalf of the emergency vehicle.
Totally.
So I'll put it at a 1 because it's not enraging me directly, but it's like, come on, guy, get out of the ambulance's way. And he's just like parked there, not pulling over. And it's like, he's got places to be. You need to move over. Like,
The only-
Yes.
He's got places to be and probably lives at stake.
and you are in his way. Move over.
I think
Like-
as I was thinking about this, I'm getting more and more pissed because it's like either you're just spaced out and stupid, which makes me angry, or you have such a huge head that you think for whatever reason your time is more important even than that of an ambulance with its lights on or the person that they potentially can save. I would almost go 2 for that.
There are times when you can't get out of the way. I've had
Yes,
that.
I've seen
I've had that happen.
I've seen
myself.
that happen too, like traffic jams.
Yeah.
Like when there's a gridlock,
Like I'll
they
throw
have
my,
to take to
like-
the shoulder because there's literally nowhere else.
Like I'll
to
throw my
park.
hazards on and be like, "Hey, I know you're back there. I just can't get out of your way."
Right.
Yeah.
I'll put it in park if you want me to, but
Yeah.
I can't move.
No, I do understand that, but it doesn't immediately raise my blood pressure. Like logically, I know all the things you're saying, but it doesn't immediately like absolutely piss me off like some of the other stuff. Weirdly enough, but
You're still at 0 just because you've never seen it?
I'm at 0. And not because I haven't seen it, it's just because, yeah, I know literally every person is scum. So someone blocking an ambulance or a cop car, even if I had seen it, and maybe I haven't, just didn't even remember, would not surprise me.
All right, so moving on then to the next one on the list here, which is the driver should always choose the music. According to this list, the passenger shouldn't choose the music.
That's not even true,
That's
though.
backwards.
Yeah, isn't the road trip rule the passenger is
It's
like the DJ?
Yeah.
Always.
I'm busy driving. I like to have music, but you're sitting there bored in the passenger seat. You got to pick the music.
Yeah, I got to say, if that...
Are we striking this one, not even scoring
I
it?
think so. I think you
Yeah.
have to.
All right.
That goes against all road trip etiquette.
All right, so we'll move on. I think this one we can strike too. Don't leave your kid or your pet in a hot car.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, don't be stupid.
We know.
All right, moving on. Maybe we can score this one. People who don't park in between the lines.
You know what? That used to be a huge trigger for me, but it actually became a 0 when I worked in parking for several years. I got all that rage out. Now I just laugh.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's situational. If it's like Walmart and there's a zillion open spots, it doesn't bother me. If it's Summerfest and you park across 3 spots, fuck you. Seriously. Like, people need to park here, and there's a lot of people who need to park. So I'd say, as it is conditional, I'd say 1. But most of the time, I just assume it's an old person.
0. Yeah, that's why you can't go places, man.
What?
Just don't go places.
Oh, okay. Life advice.
It's my policy.
I'm receiving some life advice.
I'm kind of agreeing with you on this one, Tristan. It seems kind of conditional. Like 90% of the parking lots, if there's someone in 2 spots, okay, I'll just go down another 8 feet and there's an open spot.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
If you're parking downtown, if you're parking at an event, like get your shit together.
like I've parked in the Target parking lot and gotten out and went, "Oops."
Yep.
I just walk away. Like,
Oops, people are gonna think I'm a jackass, and then I go about my business.
and I am. I'm gonna go in.
Right.
I'm not gonna get back into my car, back it out, and fix it. Like,
I'm gonna throw a 1 on that. Andrew, you got another one, or do you want me to keep?
I got one.
All right.
And this one's pretty obvious. I think it's just do not get out of your car. So did I tell the story about?
oh no, I'm not in my car.
Yeah, like, are we in breach right now?
Well, I mean, I think it's me. Like when you're driving. Did I tell the story in the podcast about that guy? I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
Kristen.
Yeah.
So one day I was driving home. I don't even remember where, from work or whatever. And there's this guy in front of me at a 4-way stop and or at an intersection, and turning left there's 2 lanes, and coming at us there's 2 lanes. So lane discipline. Another one that I'm sure there's on there in the other way. When you right to right, guys, left to left. Everyone should know this. We'll do that one next, maybe.
I think so.
But so this guy, even though the right lane was turning right, the left lane was completely clear and no one was going straight. So I'm behind him at the light and it's green and I'm just tap my horn, doesn't go. Honk again, doesn't go. Light goes yellow, honk again, he doesn't go. Light turns red and he goes. And we're both in the middle of the fucking intersection. So I'm just right behind him. And he goes to the right lane. And then he comes back to the left lane. And then he goes back to the right lane. And then he goes back to the left lane. And all of this at like 15. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I park myself as close as I can to his ass and just follow him. Because I can't go around him. I can't do anything. Shortly up the road, there's a stop sign. We get to the stop sign, and he parks his car and gets out. At this point, I'm thinking, do you want to actually get murdered right now? What do you think is going to happen? And so he walks up to my window. I had music on, and he's like, gives me the roll down your window. I'm just like, no. He's like, roll down your window. And I'm like, no. And then he had to walk back to his car. Because what was his next move? Realistically, what was his next move? Like, dude, learn how to drive. None of what you did is my fault.
Right.
And I have no idea what would have happened had I rolled down the window because I'm not an idiot. but that is a fantastic way for him to actually get murdered. Like, you can't play with people like that. You can't just get out of your car.
Right.
That's
Was he
definitely-
had to be drunk, right?
I don't know. That's the whole thing. Like, was he drunk? Was he messed up in some other way? What could he possibly have wanted from me? I don't know.
Huh.
And I'm glad I didn't ever have to find out. But it's just like,
What do you want from me? I don't want to find out.
Don't get out of the car.
I mean, yeah, that's clearly.
So I mean, could we kind of lump that in with like road rage?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
that's one on the list here.
I guess, yeah. So, I mean,
I mean,
I mean, well, how
Milwaukee
does that
County-
register for you then? Like, is that a
I guess
like
it
a
would have
one
to be
just
a
out of
one.
just out of stupidity? Like,
Yeah.
why would you be so dumb?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it doesn't make me ragingly mad, but it does bug me that you're being so dumb.
Yeah.
Get back in your. Either someone's gonna hit you,
More to the point, Wisconsin is a concealed carry state.
right? Or that's what I was gonna. That's where I was going next after my dramatic pause. It's
Yeah.
like either someone's gonna hit you, or I am gonna roll down my window and shoot you.
Yeah.
Stay in your car.
Just trying to think of a situation where someone's ever gotten out of their car in that manner and hasn't, and it's ended positively. It's like, oh, this is a great chat. Yeah, thanks, Bill. You're just a real sweet guy.
You didn't like park it at the stop sign in the road with the engine running to come back and tell me you're sorry.
Yeah. No.
I don't believe that.
No. Nothing about what you're doing is smart.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. I guess I've never really seen too much of it. I can probably go 0.
I've had it happen around me,
Yeah.
not to me. When I was living in Milwaukee all the time, people would get out and like bang on each other's hoods.
That's
and like
insane.
in River West, it's a bunch of white
What?
kids,
Those are the worst, though.
which is hilarious. Yeah.
Wow. I guess, yeah. Weird to put road rage at a 1, but that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like,
I put it at 0. Like, I never saw it really.
Yeah,
Really lucky.
in
I don't know.
general, road rage. Like even if you're mad at me, like either I did something and I was a bonehead and I was
Yeah.
like,
Whoops,
yep, that's
sorry.
me. You have every right to be mad at me. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Or I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just like, I didn't do anything and don't care. Like unless you're gonna actually run me off the road, I'm actually, I want to change my answer for road rage actually
Ooh.
though, because I've told you stories like this. It's a 2, but it's entirely vigilantism for other people. Like, stop tailgating the old man who lives in their retirement home. I will chase you down and tailgate you. Like, like,
that's right. He did do that.
Yeah. He does do that.
I do that. So yeah, road rage is a 2, but not for me. For other people,
For other people.
So your score is a 2 or a 1?
it's a 2.
Okay.
He is the road warrior.
Yes,
Got it. He's the road Robin Hood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Road bin hood.
He taketh
Road
confidence from the assholes and gives it to the less fortunate.
Yes, exactly.
Something.
Something of that nature.
A modern day hero
Yes.
in our midst. All right. Next one on this list is in a 4-way intersection, yielding to the car on the right. So just the car on the right goes just to keep order.
To me, this falls under the zipper merge. No one knows this, or at least no one practices this. I just wait practically at this point. Usually we've been complaining about Milwaukee driving, but for me, it's eastern Waukesha County.
Yes.
You come to a 4-way intersection, and I just wait for a wave. Because I don't know who the hell's going to go.
Really?
Because it could be anybody, and they're going to hit me.
I go pure order of arrival and aggressively take off.
Yeah.
No, it never fails.
Yeah, I mean, you have to either assert your dominance or decide you're not in that much of a hurry to get to work today and just let someone let you go. Because there is no playing with this right-of-way thing. It's not real in Waukesha County.
No.
So,
I'll stop and I will yield to the right if we show up at the same time. If I show up first, if I stop first, I'm going first. I don't care if you're on the right.
Yeah.
Because that's how it works.
Right.
But if we stop at the same time, I'll look and I'll give you a chance to go, but I'll give you like a 2 or 3 count. If you're not going, I'm going. So don't give me the bird or do anything else.
Actually, you know what it is? I will put the yielding to the right thing as a 0 for me, and I think it might
Same.
all be zeros.
Yeah.
But how about this one? A slight modification. people who do rolling stops at four-way intersections.
Oh no. No. Don't
No,
do
no, no.
that.
I mean,
if there's
you've all
other
seen it.
especially if there's other people.
But you know what it is. It's exactly the thing that causes us to ignore the car on the right thing. Because people, when you're coming to a four-way stop, I always do my damn best to make sure that I'm either noticeably faster or noticeably slower than anyone else coming up to the intersection, especially if there's only another car and they happen to be on the right. But that person on the right almost always will continually at the slowest possible speed creep forward until you get to the stop sign. Have you not noticed this?
No.
No, I
Oh
haven't.
my God. It's the only thing I ever see. It's the only thing I ever see.
It could all be happening behind my rearview mirror, and I would never know.
No, genuinely. You've never noticed that?
I'll admit I've done a rolling stop at a four-way, but it's like late at night and I'm the only one there.
Oh, well,
Right.
there's that.
Exactly. No.
But never when it's like, never when there's somebody else coming or there already.
'Cause that kills me. People who do not stop noticeably, when there's multiple people. So like you want to stop and okay, yes, everyone sees. Then proceed, as opposed to people who just like slowly creep and then suddenly hit the gas.
So if they're like second or third in line.
No. If
That's-
they're coming up to be in first position, and
That's what I mean. Like they were second or third in line. They've stopped and they just kind of keep moving forward. And when it's their time to go, they don't really stop. They just go through.
Yes, yeah.
I thought you were talking about someone who was freshly arrived at the intersection
it
pulling a rollie.
could be either. It's still the same end result. They just never fully stop at the actual stop sign. They just kind of keep blipping along until they suddenly decide, oh, I've stopped, and they just go.
Yeah.
I hate that. That's a 10 for me.
Okay. But that's not being scored.
I know.
So, next one is be sure to remove the tow ball when you're not towing anything, according to Car and Driver. I don't feel like this is that big a deal.
Depends on your tailgate configuration.
Well, I think if it's only going to matter if someone's tailgating you.
Or you back into somebody.
Well, if you back into somebody, whether it's a tow ball or not, like you're
Tow
still...
balls punch through radiators and cause all sorts of mayhem.
Big time. But you know what it is? I don't think it's either of those. I think it's for the passenger walking around the car
Shin
angle
busters.
and just destroying themselves.
Who are you going to call?
Shin busters.
That is the worst pain
Yeah, I mean,
ever.
considering how, if you are maintaining them properly, how dirty and greasy and, oddly enough, if you maintain them properly, they're terrible. The tow balls are.
Yeah,
'cause
rusty and just nasty.
They're rusty and they should be lubricated, so they're greasy. Like, you have to take that out and put it in like a plastic bag in your trunk or whatever. Like, if you're towing your boat like a couple weekdays and every weekend, I get not want to take it out all the time because it's a lot of handling and storing and stuff like that. But it's like, yeah, I have a pickup. It has a tow hitch on it. Occasionally I rent a U-Haul and you leave your tow ball in, then you should probably take it out. But
Well, no, Nick is the only one with a truck and a trailer both.
Hey, I mean, I've been guilty of...
we have the van
That's true.
and the trailer.
I've been guilty of leaving the tow ball in. But I see other people with it too. It doesn't really bother me.
No, me neither.
Yeah, 0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Truck nuts bother me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's a 2.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a definite 2.
That's a vandalism. I mean it too.
castrate truck nuts. That's genius.
That would be fun. The next one on the list. If you let somebody in, or if you at that four-way intersection or whatever, you give somebody a wave through, let them go, do you get perturbed if they don't give you a little thank you wave?
No, because I'm not a sociopath.
Well, I'm
Well,
not.
you kind of are.
No, I keep saying this. I always know what I'm doing is wrong.
Anyway, no, because I'm not out there fishing for praise. Like, I've asked you to go forward, and if you happen to wave, I'm not like, why did he wave? But like, like that's
No,
weird.
not you
you
don't
know?
get pissed off if they wave at you. It's if they don't.
Right, but if they don't wave, I also don't care.
I do get pissed when people wave at me.
I said that because I thought that might be you.
I do. Oh, don't do that.
I'm someone who always does give the thank you wave if someone lets me in or cuts me a break. It's always, or if like it's one of those situations where it's like a 2-hand on the wheel thing, like you can't really just be like, oh, but if like I might just go like a quick tap on the brakes just to like acknowledge, not enough to like brake check.
A wild head nod.
Thank you.
Scream out the window.
But
do whatever you can.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me if people don't do it.
No, I mean I think like I'll definitely give the wave if, again, I've done something stupid and like people have gotten out of my way or helped me fix this. I'll be like, yep, sorry, that was me, thank you.
Sometimes
But,
you
like,
have to.
But I don't expect people. If I look at them and go ahead, I don't expect them to be like, oh, thank you. Like, I don't know. It doesn't.
Yeah,
Cool.
That's a 0 for me.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Next one on the list. This might fall into lane discipline. Using the proper lanes in a roundabout. People who don't use the proper lanes in a roundabout.
What does that mean?
Well, that would be, people going. Okay, so in most of our roundabouts, they're not quote unquote true roundabouts. They have one through lane
Yes.
and one in lane to
And-
turn.
Yeah. There's right hand turning in the right lane. There's through lane in the right lane, and there's left hand turn in the center lane,
Yes, that.
for example.
So it would be people using the through lane who then suddenly decide to go left in the middle of the roundabout.
Unless the roundabout is set up for that, which some of them are.
right.
Like the big like the big ones. So I don't know that I've ever really seen anybody using the wrong lane. Because it's really obvious, even for people who don't know it.
Yeah.
Like there are other roundabout things, like slamming on your brakes when you're about to enter the roundabout and there's no one coming.
That
Like,
is heinous.
It is a yield sign, not a stop sign. If you don't see anybody coming, roll right in, folks. Just keep going. Or it's a roundabout. Eventually, you'll come back to it. If you miss your exit, just go around again.
That is something that
Instead
people
of-
have missed.
Instead of slamming on the brakes to get over and get out.
Cranking back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's a circle. You'll come back to it. Try again next time. Like, that kind of stuff makes me mad. So if we want to lump roundabout discipline into one whole thing, then
I think we can.
Then I'd say definitely 2, because I have gone flying into roundabouts because I don't see any traffic, and almost ran people because they stop. It's like, okay.
Oh, dude, stopping in the constant lane of traffic in the
Yeah,
roundabout.
or
Okay,
like,
so let's just do roundabout discipline.
yeah, like and that makes me really mad because I'm gonna hit somebody, or like hesitating entering a roundabout, like, driving a manual, you get rolling and you fully engage the clutch and you go.
Yep.
There isn't this sitting and drive hesitation that you can do.
Right.
So people will authoritatively move about 6 inches
Yes.
and then stop again. And then I'm going to rear end them because they're timid about going into the roundabout. Mm-hmm. To me, this would be my, like, probably number one is timidity while driving. If you're going to be
Overall.
if you're going to be a moron, do it with authority, and I can probably, as we discussed earlier, say, oh, that guy's going to do something dumb. But if you're going to be really timid about it, I don't know what you're going to do, and I'm going to hit you.
I
much
stand
as
as a
I-
1 only because I've probably been guilty, not of the stopping in the middle, but I've used the wrong, especially if it's one that I haven't been in before. It might take me, I'll be timid through there and I might choose the wrong lane. So
The only one
I'll
that
give it a
kills
1.
me is the stop in the middle. So I think overall it's a 1, but that one specifically is so bad.
Yeah, I have so many roundabouts on my way to work. So many. And they're so
you have more
poorly...
roundabout experience than
Yeah,
I do.
and they're so poorly driven. They're just...
This next one here, I don't think this one we might be able to strike from the record just because most headlights are automatic, but turning your headlights on
Mine aren't.
when it's dark. I said most. I didn't say all.
Yeah, all the good
Calm
people.
down.
All the people who will go to heaven and receive their just rewards.
Have manual lights.
Automatic lights.
Not the Puritan way of thinking. not the Protestant you need to suffer on this world. You
Anyways,
are luxurious dilettante over there with automagic lights.
it's amazing. I can never go back.
No, it's awesome.
Oh, it's the best.
Just turn the car on. There you go.
Well, not to brag about my automatic lights or anything, but anyway.
Yeah,
This is something that really sets my wife off. Like if people are driving without their lights on at night, she does everything be in her power and far beyond what she should be doing, something classified as doing the most to try to get someone in front of her who doesn't have their lights on to get their lights on.
Flash, flash, flash.
And it
flash, 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 flash.
never works.
No.
Not one time has it ever worked. But like, no, she will be actively turning her lights off and back on. And it's like, you're going to get killed. Someone will also not see you somehow.
right.
No, it doesn't bother me
No.
that much.
It doesn't really bother me either. I can kind of like, I'll kind of look over and think to myself, well, that's the last time I'm going to see that person for sure because they're
Well,
not
yeah,
gonna they're not going to
dead.
make it home.
Especially in their black car.
And I had one incident where I definitely almost could have died because of it. But I would not say it's a pet. I think it's clearly a safety issue, but I would not say it's a pet peeve.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I was turning left on E, and a dark asphalt gray car had its lights off at like 8:30.
Yikes.
Right in twilight, and I pulled out right in front of him and almost got hit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So,
Safety issue, not a pet peeve.
yeah, same, 0. Next one. This one I think we can strike from the record too because I don't think any of us has ever heard of this. Passenger has to clean the windshield at fuel stops.
That's stupid.
Made up. Not real.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's not.
Stupid. Next. We'll just get this one out of the way too. Hey folks, don't litter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Next.
Littering's bad.
Littering's bad. Okay. Give a hoot, don't pollute.
So there you go. Exactly.
So how about where do you guys stand on people who just, I don't think it's that big a deal, but parking at the gas pump? Like
What's the alternative?
I pay for
So,
my
like,
gas
you pay for the gas
inside at
and-
Quick Trip.
so like they're saying you should park in a parking stall and then go in to do your shopping.
And I
if you need to
get that if you're paying at the pump, but I literally can't do that or it's a drive off.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I have to keep my car there and then go inside and pay.
That's a great way to horrify gas
because
station
I pay
workers.
inside at Quick Trip.
Yeah.
Some people don't. Some people forget. They'll remain unnamed. But no, it's you have to stay there for the most of the place. Either I'm buying gas at Costco and there is no inside.
Right.
You pay and you leave. Or I'm at Quick Trip and I'm paying inside because I'm getting something else anyway. So I have to stay there. It doesn't bother me that
But
the pumps are occupied.
is the conceit here that you're supposed to fill your car up with gas, then get in your car that you just filled up with gas and have not paid for, and move it, drive it to another location, presumably because it's a gas station, you have to loop around?
I think what they're talking about is people who get in, they'll pay at the pump, and while it's pumping, they'll go in and buy other things, and then the car, they're done filling up, the pump has stopped, but they're still in there buying.
Well, that seems even crazier. Who leaves the pump unattended?
People who start fires.
Yes. Yes, that is who. That's okay. That's bad. I've never seen that, and I don't want to believe it's
When I
real.
was reading that, though, that's when I was going through the list, it just seemed to me like you're done pumping your gas, you're going to go inside for your snack and your soda, move your car. Which, I guess it depends on if you're paying at the pump or paying inside, but I also don't care.
Yeah, no, you're getting the cops called on you if you haven't paid and you're moving your car. They're calling the cops before you get in the building.
Yeah.
it's over.
He's driving away. He's driving away. Yeah, it's
They got infinity cameras at those places now.
yes.
So,
0.
zeros. All right. Next is, I feel the same way on that one, by the way. We already went through the litter thing. If someone's coming at you, do you expect the courtesy headlamp flash if there's a police officer up the road or a potential hazard? Like, do you get mad? Like,
No one flashed me. No.
No, I don't expect that.
because the article says like you should do that.
I no.
Give us all a courtesy flash. You know, your fellow driver. I've never done that.
I've done it once, and it had nothing to do with a cop. It had to do with a stalled car in the middle of the road up over a hill.
Yeah, I mean, for situations like that, I'm actually more likely to simply leave the site with my hazards on.
Sure.
until I see like the next car coming. And then once they kind of like slow down and look at me and I can tell they're paying attention, I turn them off. But blinking, like,
Aha! And then you speed away.
like blinking can mean anything. Like there's a cop, there's a deer, there's a stalled car.
Well, that's the thing, like something to watch out for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if it's like watch out for deer or watch out for a speed trap, like if it's watch out for a speed trap, I'll slow down 4 miles an hour. If it's watch out for, a semi truck jackknife across the road and I could hit it, I'm going to want to stop. It's kind of a meaningless form of communication, so I don't really expect people to do it.
But I
Yeah,
think
but if
about-
they're coming at you in a moving vehicle, they don't have time to explain exactly what's going on.
Exactly.
The idea is to-
Attention, fellow driver. Have you considered?
But exactly, that's what I mean. It's like, would I rather have to deal with whatever the situation is on my own, or spend those 30 seconds trying to figure out what the hell they're flashing me for?
See, if it happens to me, I just like awareness goes up. Like I start scanning more aggressively. Like
That's the thing.
you don't know what you're gonna find, but there's something there.
You got to figure if you give someone that or get it from someone, it buys you or them a half mile of increased awareness.
Yep.
At least that's the way I think of it.
Okay. I don't expect people to do it, though.
Me neither.
Me neither.
So-
I don't. So after all that talk, zeros.
Yeah. After all that.
After all that, let's see. Here's one that I think we can all strike from the record. Hey, everybody, don't hit people walking across the road.
Yeah, that's bad.
We almost hit somebody with our bus today.
Yeah.
Because he just literally leapt out into the road like, I'm gonna cross right in front of the bus. And then went back from whence he came in front of an Escalade. And almost got hit then, too.
But I feel like pretty obvious, right? Don't even need to score that one.
Yeah.
The next one I think is kind of obvious too, but I have a counterpoint to it. So the next one is make room for cyclists, which I have no problem making room for cyclists.
Bicyclists?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cyclists. Yes.
Motorcyclists.
Oh, got it. Bicyclists. Yes.
Yes.
So make room for bicyclists. Cool.
Yes.
I have no problem doing that. Also, bicyclists don't ride 4 across the fucking road.
You know what? I don't have a problem with that.
Oh, I have a problem with that.
I don't have a problem with that. I have much less a problem with cyclists actually using the road that they want a piece of so badly,
As long as they play by the rules.
which they
That's-
don't. None
But
of them
they
do.
don't.
That's my problem is like I did, believe it or not, this god of a figure in front of you
Peak performance.
commuted on a bicycle to work for months. And when you play by the rules, when you're in the bike lane, when you stop for stoplights, even if there's no bike lane, if you're along the shoulder, then yeah, I expect people to be nice and share the road with you. It's
100%.
fine.
100%.
And if you're out there riding in a pack, if you're 4 or 5 across, it's easier to see you, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I will attempt to go around you. If I can't, then you should probably go down to at least double file and let me go past you. It's all like it's all common courtesy, and but I do really think that it's important to leave space for bicyclists because whether or not they should be, following the law, they should be. Whether or not they are is no excuse for you not to be as a driver.
True. I thought Wisconsin state law for cycles was claim the lane, though.
Right, that's what I mean.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, actually use the goddamn road and
Right,
not
exactly.
ride in the shoulder.
Right. Well, I mean, you are not to be driving right in the middle if you're like a single bicyclist. You're supposed to be off to the side where people can pass you, but you're supposed to not be like up on the sidewalk or
Right.
riding in take the space you need, but be courteous.
They're absolute hazards.
Yeah.
Cyclists on roads are genuinely one of the worst situations for all involved.
And that's not their fault because we
Well,
don't have bike lanes.
it's their fault.
But like in cities, they wouldn't be a hazard if we had places to put them.
Yeah, like
So-
bike trails, but we got mad
Bike
trails around
lanes. We don't really though.
here. Sure,
We don't
there's
have
plenty of
bike
them. They
trails?
don't go anywhere.
That's what I mean.
They're there.
So you were a 0.
Yeah, I'm a 0 on that specifically. The whole concept of cyclists is very angering
It
to
sounds
me.
like you're getting agitated about it.
Right, and it's the same for me. Like I said, I've been on both sides of the equation, but I'm still more angry at cyclists who are a pain in the ass.
Which is all of them.
Yeah, but like I think it was just a couple weeks ago when I told you I nearly got T-boned by 2 of them. Like I was pulling through an intersection and there were bicyclists on the sidewalk going through the intersection, not stopping.
Yeah.
And like they had to like just slam on the brakes and they like slid off the seat and were like up on the front wheel, almost hitting the side of my car.
There's a guy who did that to me at 3 a.m. in Nebraska. I was turning right at a red light. And so, your progression is clear forward. You look down the road to the right, make sure there's no hazards. Then the last thing you do
Just make
is
sure no one's
look
going to come
left.
from your left and
No
hit
one's
you.
coming.
See that no one's coming. I looked left, cleared the intersection, went to go forward, and this guy had come down the sidewalk and biked in front of my car as I was turning right with my indicator on, and I just about killed that guy because he was just there and my car was going forward.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's like, what did you think was about to happen? Like, how did you imagine the situation playing out in a way where you didn't die? And I mean, like, he didn't, but it was just like,
Right.
I mean, it's not a pet peeve of mine when people don't like. I feel like you can, if you're leaving room for cyclists, you're not hitting them.
right.
Like especially
Well,
like
yeah, yes.
like especially in the city, like there's not necessarily room to give them like 5 or 6 feet unless everyone's going to go 10 miles an hour. You're going to go around them, and if you're not hitting them, then you're going around them. Then you've left them enough room. Like there are other things to the equation for me, but it doesn't bother me when people don't leave space for them.
So a
'cause
0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, it's, it doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Stop saying it bothers me.
All right.
More often, cyclists bother me,
Yes.
even having been.
People who only do the speed limit and don't go over.
0.
Yeah, would I rather they were going faster? Probably. But
There's always a passing zone,
eventually, yeah.
or not.
Yeah, I mean,
There's just clear road.
yeah. So, no, I think especially if it's a question of comfort and safety, if these people were going to be going faster and that was going to make them uncomfortable and twitchy and unpredictable, then I'd rather they just go in the speed limit. So,
Yeah. I mean, usually there's a way around them.
Yeah.
So either you wait for the spotted yellow and go, or other
Or just
lane.
go.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
just go. Just
Sometimes
go,
it
man.
happens.
Just go. Next one: people who don't keep a steady speed on the highway.
Pretty much everyone, again, in the state, 0. There's always a way to pass.
yeah, I don't mind. I laugh at how ridiculously bad they're driving, but it was like on our way out to Watkins Glen, we were playing the passing lane ballet with.
There's that Subaru from Michigan.
Yes.
Yeah.
With the license plate that was all S's and 5s.
Yeah, S's and 5s. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, it's like speed up, pass me, slow down, move over, slow down, I'll pass you. Like they can do that all they want. I'm on cruise control and I'm just changing lanes.
Yep.
That doesn't bother me at all, and I'm laughing at like, bro, your car comes with cruise control. Just use it.
Yeah, and you're
Like,
terrible at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So, but it doesn't bother me.
I think I might put it at a 1 just because it really annoys me when I try to pass someone and then they speed up. Like I
Okay.
like I ran up on you, I put my signal on, I pulled out, and now as I'm alongside you, now you speed up because you're not going to let me in.
That's a different thing. I will say that that's a different thing because that's vindictive. That's just vindictive driving.
Vindictive or reflexive. Sometimes
It might be
Like-
reflexive.
Like people saw you run up on them and like, well, I should go faster, and they realize that they're not going fast enough, and by the time you've put your indicator on, pulled over, they have sped up already.
It's almost always
Yeah.
vindictive.
It's
not reflexive.
so.
I just think they're evil.
Well, that's you. pretty much in a nutshell.
I want to put this as a 1 for me, the steady highway speed.
Yeah. I will leave it as a 0 with the one caveat that everyone is evil. And so when they do that to me on purpose, which they're clearly doing, they're being awful.
Okay, fair enough. Noted. I'll jot that down. The next one is no tailgating, or the people who tailgate.
I guess it has to be a 1, right? Because no one really likes it. I will say in my car now, it doesn't bother me because my brakes are better than theirs. So
Yeah, I mean, they're going to cause an accident, but they're not going to hurt me because it's way back there.
yeah.
I mean, they're going to end up paying for a repair bill or a new car. That's not my problem. I mean, it's 1. I'd really rather they weren't doing it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't get me bothered.
But although you did say that people doing it to others,
Right.
that I feel like that might have to make it a 2 for you.
Yeah,
'Cause
if you go out of your way to return the favor to someone,
you've done vengeance.
Right, but that was even only a 1 for that guy.
That's a true. Well, is that a true statement? Did we give him a 2 or a 1 for the other one?
1.
It was a 1.
Because it was for other people.
All right, fair.
I don't think that don't slam doors.
No one knows what that means anymore.
Don't care.
They all have to be or they don't close
Yeah.
in this day and age.
This one is pretty obvious. I think we can strike this one. Don't distract the driver. Like, okay.
Yeah, forget that one.
Yeah, we're gonna. Let's see. They want you to give semis and motorcycles extra space. I feel like that's a given.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a given, but I mean, what are you going to do? Everyone is terrible at driving, like so bad.
Yeah, it's not a pet peeve of mine. Like,
When I see others do it, it doesn't kill me. You
No.
just know that they're,
gonna get run over by that semi.
yeah.
Not my problem.
Yeah. This next one, it doesn't bother me that much because I think if it happens, it's going to be an accident anyway. But accidental, not like a car accident.
I was like, Nick, very nonchalant about motorcycle accident. Motor vehicle
This
accidents.
one, like the next one on the list, don't bump the manual transmission lever, the gear shift lever.
Oh no, you'll be stoned to death if you try
Yeah.
that in my car.
As someone who daily drives.
But like I mean, I don't feel like anyone's going to try to do it.
No, however, that's also not an accident that happens. Like,
Good point.
Like, it's an accident, like, maybe once. Like, it's like, hey, that's really important, don't touch that. And people know that. Like, entirely to her credit, Jessica doesn't even get in the way of my arm when I'm driving. Like, she sees me reach for the gear shift and slides to the right.
Cringes away.
Yeah, like slides to the right because she knows that it's not a very wide car.
Oh no, it's the tricky first to second.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, actually at freeway speed, it's less of a problem. It's definitely at intersections. But like, stay away from that. That's a working part of the car.
The danger zone.
If you're going to poke that, you're doing it with full knowledge that it's going to make me angry. Because you don't touch that, it's very important.
So is this a 2 for you?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
a 2 for me because it's a 2 for me, not immediately. Because I think a lot of people are unfamiliar with riding in a manual transmission car. So like you'll get a couple warnings because it's not muscle memory for everybody yet. But if you know, like if you're riding in my car and you bump the gear shift lever, I'm gonna smack you because you know better. Like
Flick it into neutral as you're about to shift it.
You menace.
kill you.
Watch you push the clutch and just go.
Death. He will simply die. So yeah, it's like if you know better and you do it, you will immediately piss me off. If you don't know better, I can't fault you for not knowing better. I will tell you, hey, don't do that. But I would say the fact that it will immediately cause me to want to murder you, it's a 2. Because it's very important. You're going to damage the car. You're going to hurt people. Like, there's a potential for all of that when you're messing with that.
Right.
So leave it alone.
I'm going to put it at a 0 because it's not getting to that point. That's how confident I am in my skills. It's
Fair enough.
not going there.
Well, that's what I'm saying is that I've never had it happen, but what if it did?
No, it's not. It's not.
Well,
going
then I have to be a 0 then. Because
copier.
Well, do you feel like it could happen or no?
I think the fact that he doesn't feel like it could happen is bald-faced ignorance and conceit. Like, someone could definitely bump it.
Sure.
And what if they did?
They wouldn't though. No one
You
is in
just
my
said
car.
it could happen.
No one is in my car.
The 2 of us will be riding in your car next weekend.
I'm going to bump the gear shift lever and see what he does.
We'll see.
And then we'll have to revise the score.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll have a score revision.
We'll see if you do. That's it.
Now
We'll
it's a
see
mission.
if you do.
Now it's
No.
a mission.
I mean, if we can just say it's never going to happen to me, it's going to be a 0,
I'm going to leave it as a 2.
well, then change it to 0.
I agree
If he
with
gets
you.
to use that excuse, I get to use that excuse. Change it to 0.
He just wants to be like me.
No,
stole
I
my
just don't
answer,
want.
teacher.
I just don't want points where they're apparently not warranted.
Make up your own mind, man. I make my own point.
Change it to 0 then, because it's never going to happen in my car. I would be really mad if it did, but since it's never going to happen, it's going to be a 0.
Okay, fair enough. I'm surprised this one is this far down the list, why they buried this, because I feel like this is a big one.
Buried the lead.
Really. People who don't get up to speed on on-ramps.
2. So mad.
I bounce up and down in my seat. I get
Breathtakingly
so mad.
Yeah, I don't...
Especially
this should be
because-
like the headline.
Especially because I want to get up to speed in about the first 60 feet.
Well, yeah. There's
I mean, I even get mad when people don't get up to speed fast enough. It's like- but
Yeah,
but
I'm the same way. This is one of the big ones for me. This is the one.
Huge.
This is one of them that I blogged about. And then usually the same people who don't get up to speed are the same ones who aren't putting their signal on either.
Oh, exact same.
Exact same people.
when they get to the end. Yeah.
And then they have that attitude like, well, everyone else needs to watch out for me.
And they're also the people who brake in the right lane as they're driving, past on ramps. So the people who are tapping the brakes to let people in on the on ramps. Like, oh my God, no! Everything about what you're doing is wrong.
It is their responsibility to get out of your way if you're on the freeway.
And
And that's part of arriving at the freeway at the appropriate speed.
yes.
Please. And like I said, but it's definitely a 2 for me because even if you arrive at the freeway at the proper speed, if you haven't arrived at that speed by halfway down the ramp, I'm still impatiently behind you.
So yeah, 2s across the board there. 2s across the board. How about this one? And we're almost to the end here, folks. Hang in there. Dimming the headlights for oncoming traffic. Not like a courtesy flash, but you have the brights on, someone's coming at you at night, flicking them down to regular.
I'm going to put this at a 0 because all headlights are so bright now it barely makes a difference.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say 0 because when I'm in my car, any pickup truck will blind me no matter what the state of their lights are.
Yep.
And if I'm in the Jeep, if they leave their lights on, I'll just turn mine back on and blind the shit out of them. The thing's a lighthouse. So, I mean, it's, either I'm going to punish you and then they'll turn their lights off, or I'm going to be blind no matter what. I mean, I spend half my time in the dark looking at the right-hand line on the road because every headlight is too bright and right in my eyes.
Yep.
If you drive a car, not even a performance car, every crossover and pickup truck and SUV lights are going to be right in your eyes.
Yep.
And no matter how bright they are, you're blind anyway.
Yep.
Especially if they're BMWs. Anyways.
Or Ford trucks.
Ford trucks.
Ford trucks,
Holy shit.
That has to stop.
That's dangerous.
Yeah, it's
They're
terrible.
driving suns.
Yeah.
Like actual balls of
Yeah,
gas.
it's
suns.
unbelievable. And they're still not IIHS Top Safety Picks Plus, by the way. They
Yeah.
just made the lights really bright and they don't pass the tests.
Right, exactly.
They're just blinding. They're not effective.
Right. Last one. Backseat drivers. Andrew, I don't expect you to have an opinion on this because I don't think anybody rides in your backseat.
That's true, but also 0 because I'm not listening to what you say anyway. If you're back there talking, either I want to listen and we're engaged, or I don't and we're not.
Yeah, I will not listen to driving critiques, but if I get a grabbing the seat back, gasping, pointing, I'm actually thank you for seeing that deer I didn't see or whatever. It's usually a positive. I'll take all the extra eyeballs I can get for things that are about to hit me or that I'm about to hit. Otherwise, I haven't had a problem with this. It seems like it's a trope in the car world and on sitcoms and stuff, but people in the backseat can't see anything.
Yeah.
Here's
So if
a-
they tell you how to drive, wouldn't that
true.
be
Here's a
annoying
sup-
if they
well-
can't see?
Well, they don't though. No one does. You stick my dad in the back seat, who is the ultimate right seat driver. And if he's in the back seat, he can't see anything. He can't tell you anything.
He just goes quiet.
Yeah, he
Kind of sad.
He's like a bird with a
I was
with
gonna say,
a
put the
yeah
put the sheet over the bird cage.
yeah, and it's from the back seat of most modern cars, you don't have the visibility to comment on driving for the most part. So people don't. I drive with all sorts of people who will comment, and I usually welcome it if you're in the passenger seat. But if you're in the back seat, people just shut up because they
Yeah.
can't see anything. So for me, much like the other one where it's like, what's just not going to happen? Like, yeah, it does bother me. If you do say something, if you don't like the way I drive, get out of my back seat. I haven't had an actual vehicle-on-vehicle accident outside a parking lot at 15 miles an hour. So I drive just fine.
So 0.
Yeah, I don't care.
I have the tendency, and it's not often that I sit in the back seat because of my go-go gadget legs. But when I am in the back, I'll have the tendency to kind of lean towards the center just so I can see just so I can see out the window, and that's more of a security thing. But I don't tell them what to do. I just kind of look.
We need to see your doom
Right.
as it
Basically,
comes
yeah.
upon
And I
you.
will stare at you in the mirror. I've done it.
Yeah.
And I'm because
Eyes
mostly because his head's in the way.
Right.
I need to see back move.
Yeah.
Go gadget head. Get it.
Put that
It's
back.
not my head, it's my legs.
I know. Tip the other way. I
But
can't
no,
see
I'm
behind
the same
me.
way. I'm a 0. I haven't really experienced that much problem with it. My mom used to do it, especially like when I was in high school. Holy cow, is it bad.
Which is fine. In my opinion, I was still learning.
But I'm
Like,
over it. I'm over it.
Yeah, there is the learning thing, but again, yeah, that's I guess passenger driving, whatever you want
Yeah.
to call it, co-piloting.
Whew. We made it.
Barely. Are we gonna calculate now?
I think we've been on the air too long at this point.
Folks, tune into our social media, and we
We
will,
will post the scores to reveal
we will declare a winner
declare him peeves.
before starting our foray to Road America.
Oh yeah, it's coming
Yes.
very early next week.
Yes.
But I will calculate the scores, and we'll figure out who will be from here on out known as Peeves. But let's get out of here. Let's do some thank yous and let's get out of here. Who are we thanking, or what are we thanking tonight?
Tristan, you got something?
I would like to thank. Here's a little plug, actually. I don't know if they'd like this or not. But free advertising. I
Sure.
would like to thank the fine people at Gazelle's Automotive in Oconomowoc
Okay.
for years doing the best they can to keep our rattle trap fleet of Dudley family vehicles and associates, various friends, significant others, up and running in the least expensive way possible, because they have just done it again very recently. So a reminder of the excellent job they do. If anybody needs a mechanic, let me know. And you're in the
Reach
area,
out, listeners.
and you're in the area. So thank you, Jim. Thank you, Laszlo. Excellent service.
Hell of a name,
Yeah.
Laszlo. That's awesome.
Hell of a
That's
mechanic too.
Great. Andrew?
I just want to thank Artisan Loaf again, because man, like that interview was so hot. It was so great, and
It's
I'm
getting-
like,
I
I'm
listened to it
inspired now.
twice.
Me too. I listened to it
so
twice.
good.
It's really good. He provides way better content than the three of us.
So much better.
So, and it's doing, from what I can tell, is doing incredibly well so far since we've announced it.
Yeah, and
so
it was just so amazing, and so I'm like, it got me all fired up, and I'm ready to go again.
Twitter at Artisan Loaf.
Yep.
Give him a follow. I would like to thank Car and Driver for giving us the idea for this episode.
Yeah, we stole your content.
We
statement.
totally stole your content here. So
Built on their content.
improved.
So thanks, Car and Driver. And also, thanks to the fans, thanks to the listeners, because in spite of the fact that we're not pros, you're still here listening, even after all this time. So we thank you for that. But we don't want you just to listen. We want to hear from you. Score yourselves. Follow along. Give yourselves a score. Let us know how peeved
Yeah, if
you
you've
are.
been
That's
paying
good.
if you've been paying attention, you'll know the answer before we announce it.
That's
Right.
true.
Exactly.
We said all the numbers.
See if you're peevier than any of us. But yeah, reach out. Let us know what you think about this kind of stuff. We're at checkenginepodcast.com. You can start there. We have an email there. It is inbox@checkenginepodcast.com. What do you want to hear us talk about? What do you like? What do you not like? We want to hear from you. Let us know. This is a dialogue, or it's supposed to be. We're also on socials. We're on Facebook at Check Engine Podcast. Tristan, we are on Instagram, are we not?
We are at Check Engine Pod.
Andrew, we are retweeting Artisan Loaf where?
Continually at at Check Engine Pod.
So find us on the socials. If you're really into what we're doing, we will happily accept your money to help improve what we're doing here. We have support pages both at anchor.fm, our homepage. There's a support button there. And we also have a Patreon page, patreon.com/Check Engine Podcast. Reviews are awesome. We love reviews. Subscriptions are awesome. We love subscribers. It's free. It's easy. All it will do is tell you that, hey, we posted a new episode, so you don't have to go look on our socials for an announcement.
And just a little plug. I know some people are not a big fan of just simply giving money. If you do like what we're doing and can provide any goods or services for us, I just had an offer made in that regard. Hopefully, fans, you will see that soon. But if you like what we're doing, but it's not like, here, just take my money. You'd like to provide us, web development services or whatever else, since it's them throwing things out there. We do accept that. Please let us know, inbox at checkenginepodcast.com, and let us know what you can do for us if you'd like to, instead of just kind of blindly giving money and letting us choose what we want to do with it. If you want to improve the podcast in a very specific way, please feel free to do so.
Awesome. Yeah, we'd accept that as well. Thank you in advance. We can't wait to talk to you again, because the next time we talk to you, there's going to be some cool stuff going on. Hopefully we can announce all the details very soon, but it's going to be awesome. So we'll talk to you again soon, but until then, take care.
Bye.